friends, Masha here, and today's video is my January installment for the newest feature here at Musings by Masha, which comes with two hashtags, hashtag Deck of the Year Project 2025 and hashtag Deck of the Month. As many of you now have seen, earlier this week I introduced this feature here on my channel, and that video is linked for you below in case you would like to participate or include the hashtag in your monthly videos, in your monthly recaps. But essentially for me, the Deck of the Year Project 2025 is all about my quest finding that the Deck of the Year, without knowing what criteria I would have for this deck, what deck it would be. But as it comes to the Deck of the Month hashtag, it's my attempt, my intention for this year to be better at tracking my regular readings, recording my regular readings, and also tracking which tarot decks I reach for most when doing readings for myself and others, and sharing those decks with you. So that's kind of a little bit of a gist of what this feature is. So let's begin with the decks that the new to me decks, the decks that I received in January. My first deck of the year was Sarton Tarot Flamand. It's a handmade tarot, handcrafted by Marco Benedetti. Marco actually released this deck, I think, on the 1st of January this year, and of course I absolutely had to have a copy, and it's a delight. Though there's the backs, I also will link the video, my detailed walkthrough of this deck, but it's absolutely delightful. And this is a reproduction of a mid-18th century Flemish tarot, Belgian tarot, and many in the community are quite familiar with Vandenborg tarot, and this tarot is of a similar style, very similar, in fact, visibly, woodblock wise, but it actually predates the Vandenborg tarot, a little more known Flemish Vandenborg tarot. And just look at the colors, the craftsmanship of these cards. Everything about this deck is just perfection. So if you love your historic decks, this tarot may be something for you to consider or to look into a little bit more. And being of the Flemish tradition of Brussels, Rouen tradition, this tarot has the Pope or the Hierophant replaced with Bacchus, and the Popes replaced with the Spanish captain. So the greens are among my most favorite colors here in this deck, those kind of foresty greens. So yeah, this tarot is delight, and it was the first arrival, my first deck that I made a video this year in the very beginning of 2025. Next tarot that I had arriving, I think I ordered it probably at the end of December, perhaps even early in January on Amazon. This is a mass market version, and this is a Tarot de Marseille from a French publisher. So this is a tarot with the guidebook by Emmanuel Eager, who is a French-based tarot reader and tarot author, quite renowned. The booklet is only tiny, it's in French, but I kind of looked through her interpretations of the cards, and I really like it because it's very, very traditional with a bit of description of the patterns of the Marseille tarot cards. So this is a pocket tarot deck, and this is the pocket version of a convert, of the famous convert Tarot de Marseille, only printed on the glossy cardstock, and the cards are gold gilded. But this tarot is delightful. The backs are the original convert backs, and on the cards at the very bottom you see the stamp, and I trust it would be the National Library of France, Bibliothèque Nationale, where the original convert tarot is kept. So it's a beautiful reproduction, and as I said, like, it's a pocket deck. So if the previous tarot was pretty much tarot size, just slightly, perhaps a little bit narrower, and this is your comparison, how this, I'll probably put the image so you can see more obviously how this pocket version, the pocket Marseille, compares. And yeah, so it's just one of those inexpensive Marseille, traditional Marseille tarot decks that you don't really see very often, right? Reproductions of, mass market reproductions of historic Marseille tarot decks, especially made in a pocket size. So it's not a mini size as you saw, it's a pocket size. And as you can see, I've been shuffling this tarot already quite a bit and using it quite a bit. So it's a delight. I'm really pleased with this inexpensive copy to keep in my daily backpack, in my daily handbag. Then I also had this newest Seasons of the Witch Oracle arriving, and this is the Astara Oracle. So I trust is the newest release from Rockpool in the series. I haven't used the Oracle yet. I mean, Astara is not here yet, and for me, the holographic, there is a holographic gilding. Those are the backs. And yeah, I haven't shuffled the deck. And for me, this series, well, I'm not a witch. I don't see myself as a witch as such. I do nature-based practices, and but I don't see myself as a witch. I don't identify, if you will, as a witch. But the Seasons of the Witch series of the decks is just something that I want to have complete, and I have so far, I have all of the decks that they have released, and I don't remember if the Astara one would be the last one in that project, or whether there would be one more to go. And I'm just showing you some of the images of the cards. I'm sure these decks are very popular, and I'm sure there have been already plenty of walkthroughs done by more knowledgeable people on the subject of witchcraft. But those oracles are great. When I use them, when I use the guidebook, the messages are always spot on, and I do love the art in these decks. So yeah, the Seasons of the Witch Astara Oracle, and one more tarot deck that I received in January, and that was Zodiac Tarot. And it's a tarot in a teen. I can never go past a cute teen. And why I chose to get this tarot is, well, the guidebook is written by Cecilia Latari, and illustrations are done by Anna Chavez. Why I got this tarot, apart from the teen, those are the backs if you haven't seen, glossy cards again, is because this tarot, as you can see at the top of the card, has the astrological references and references to the decans. And there is one book that I'll share with you that I'm reading, I'm going through at the moment, which talks about decans, and I wanted to have a deck that was that had that kind of easy reference for the purposes of my study. But the images here, they're quite nice. I really do like them against the black background. And the sun, we have a baby but no horse. So yeah, that was the last tarot deck, last of the new arrivals, last of my January arrivals. And now to the books. Well, you might ask, the books are not included in the tags, right? In the Deck of the Year project and Deck of the Month tag. But when it comes to my card practice, tarot and cartomancy and divination, books I'm reading often determine which decks I would be reaching for my studies and to practice readings with. during the time when I'm reading those books. And while I haven't finished reading any tarot books in January, I've got a couple to share with you. I, of course, have finished a number of books in the other areas of my interest, like yoga, tea, and Zen. But my channel is more about cartomancy, and especially these two tags are all mainly tarot, but not only, because I'm sure I will be featuring throughout the year decks from other cartomancy systems. So the ongoing book, which I started in December, is the book by T. Susan Chang, and it's a 36 Secrets, a decaying journey through the minor arcana of the tarot. So I started it in the beginning of December, and with decans, and most of you are way more knowledgeable and way more versed in using astrological references to tarot and decanic references. I'm only a beginner here, and even this book I only got it because of the recommendation of two friends, two of my tarot very trusted tarot friends. So this book, it goes through decans, right? So for every one decan for every 10 days of the year, which makes it 36, right? 36 times 10. As I'm filming this video on the 9th of February already, we have just reached the divided mind, the decan ruled by the moon. And we are here with Seven of Swords in Aquarius 3. So yeah, and the book is wonderful. It includes the reflections of the author, of T. Susan Chang, her personal examples of how especially the cards of the minor arcana show up to her, with some historic references, and a chapter on how the cards can appear in everyday life, and a takeaway. So yeah, I don't usually use astrology for my readings, but this book has been insightful in terms of how to look at the minor arcana and the cards of the minor arcana of tarot. In the book, as you can see, T. Susan Chang uses the Rider-Waite-Smith images with the original artwork by Pamela Coleman Smith, and I decided to do the same in my journal when I journal my reflections on each decan, or so far that's what I've been doing. But also to journal, and since it's kind of a book format, I've been using this tarot sticker book I stumbled, the Wiser, so Wiser Publishing, they're quite well known, so I just got the sticker book on Amazon, and those stickers, they feature 78 cards of Rider-Waite-Smith tarot, but the version of the Waite-Smith Wiser version of the tarot, with the deck that has been recolored, and I trust it's quite popular. So those stickers have been really handy, and so they said that it's over 2,500 stickers. And I think if you do tarot journaling, it's a bargain. And I do love my stickers, and I do love my journal. So that's kind of was a treasure of mine that I've been using together with this book, as I've been doing my own reflections and draws, and checking which cards showed up and whether they match with the decans that I've been going through. So that's that. Another book, it's not a book, but it's a tarot magazine. Giordano Berti, who is a very well-known and respected a historian in art and symbolism and expert in tarot, he published Tarot Focus, he released the first edition, which is the zero edition though. Zero edition, I'm just scrolling to open this magazine, of digital Tarot Focus magazine, and it's an international magazine which features a number of authors. So that's the cover of that zero issue, which went online, I think on the 25th of January, towards the end of January, mainly dedicated to the Fool, but also is filled with other insightful articles. Robert and Place is featured there, and Robert and Place's article is about his story with tarot. We have an article about the exhibition of the Louvre, so the exhibition on the Fool in Louvre Museum in France by Isabelle Nadolny. We have the meanings of the major arcana. We have articles dedicated to the Fool cards throughout history. I wish I had this magazine last year when I was doing my Top Tarot Trumps series. There was an article, very interesting article that I read, but again, I don't want to scroll, but yeah, it features tarot arts. You probably, if you're in America, you're familiar with the tarot arts shop, so about them. What was I saying? Yeah, Aleister Crowley, there is an article in this magazine written by Giordana Berti about burial place of Aleister Crowley, but also article shares a few insights that I wasn't aware of Aleister Crowley's life. So that's pretty much it for the books. I have started reading a number of divination and tarot related books, but I can't quite speak on them as I'm only in the beginning chapters. So as the year goes on and as I begin to kind of get through those books towards the end of finishing them, of course, I will share more about them with you in the future installments. I always have 3 books at hand on my desk, on my little desk, and they are my first books, really, first tarot books. I have, my first Tarot de Marseille book ever was Tarot, the Open Reading by Yov Bendov, and it's the book that I constantly refer to and also recommended to everyone. It was released later as mass market after his passing, and the title Marseille Tarot Revealed by Llewellyn in the colored edition. So it's a great book on Tarot de Marseille, introduction to Tarot de Marseille. I mean, not perfect, but what is perfect, right? But very insightful read and an easy read. Another Marseille book that I always return to and I recommend to everyone is Camelia Elias' book, and it's her earlier Marseille Tarot Towards the Art of Reading. And when it comes to RWS, my trusted guide is this book. It was the first tarot book I ever got, along with the first deck I ever got in December 2015, The Ultimate Guide or Guide to Tarot by Liz Dean. So yeah, these 3 books, they kind of are always at hand somewhere right on my desk, as I mentioned, or if I read anywhere else in the house. It's just those books, they move where I tend to do my readings and do my reflections and journaling on the cards. So now we have arrived to the decks that I used most in the month of January. And the first tarot deck that I have here to share with you is the handmade Rider-Waite-Smith tarot under the name Constantinople Tarot, another handmade deck by Marco Benedetti, who is using a different filter than an original Marseille Tarot. Those are the backs. I now finally etched my cards in black, and they are the images which capture the light so beautifully with this top layer. Well, there are 2 pieces of paper, right, glued together, since it's a handmade deck, but but the fronts of the cards are different from the backs in the paper used, and just see how beautifully the light reflects in them, or they reflect the light. So yeah, Waite-Smith Tarot, Constantinople Tarot, the way Marco calls it, because it has this kind of Byzantine coloring, resembling, you know, the mosaic windows of the Byzantine times. And why I use this deck, as I mentioned, how the decks I used are very much related to the books I'm reading. When I got this book recommended by my friends, I knew that I wanted to use a Waite-Smith Tarot because it's featured, and I asked Marco if I could possibly get a very nice handmade, very special RWS if I am to spend the whole year going through this 36 Secrets book. Next tarot that I use quite a bit is actually also one of the newer to me, which arrived, I trust, in December, maybe November, December last year. And this is the, again, French, Minchiate Tarot. And this is, released by Edition Trajectory, so it's a mass market publisher in France, I trust, with the guidebook written by Emmanuel Eager, who you remember, the same tarot author as this little tarot I showed you earlier, and Isabelle Nadolny. My plan for later this year to go deeper into my Minchiate studies, and this was sort of like a fun introduction during my summer holidays. Well, in the summer I had 2 weeks off, and I've done quite a few readings as well using this tarot for the sake of translating the book, which I kind of started translating a little bit for myself digitally, just pretty much through Google Translate for most parts. And yeah, so this is the Trust Minchiate al-Aquila based on the backs. I'll just show you a few images of the cards. So the colorations are different from what we see probably in historic historic Minchiate decks, and these cards, they may even have been, by the looks of it, redrawn, but I find them very charming. And since, again, Minchiate is that tarot tradition that I would like to explore later in the year, I kind of did a little bit of exploration in January. Then I did a few readings with the Zodiac Tarot, which I showed you my new arrival for January, so I'm not going to show you the cards again. But again, I did so to place these interpretations from this tarot along with Waite-Smith Tarot side by side for the decans that I am going through. And then the deck that is my deck of the month, and the tarot deck that I used most in January this year, is actually the Philippe Vassier Tarot, the earliest now recognized as the earliest known Marseille Tarot from 1639. For me, it's also for me to use deck most. It should be that convenience of carrying the tarot deck with me, especially for my morning draws. For most part, I'm not at home for my morning draws because of my teaching commitments in the mornings, or sometimes I just quickly draw the cards but then take the deck with me. And I kept this tarot, I kept the Vassier in January in this pouch, and this pouch is actually was from Artisan Tarot that I was gifted actually by them when I met with them in Georgia in 2023. But what's special about this pouch is the lining. Just look, the lining of this Maltese cross that we see as the backs of not just the Vassier Tarot, but also Jean Noblet Tarot, Viville Tarot, Tarot of Paris. So for me, that's kind of very, I find it adorable to have this little match. Again, with this tarot, I do have a walkthrough of this tarot where I talk more about history In fact, also for this feature on my channel, I will include the names of the decks and the possible links to my videos, or where you can find them for the ease of it, for the ease of the viewers. But this one is one of those unique Tarot de Marseille decks that features purple violet coloring, which was the feature before 1700s, right before the beginning of the 18th century, when the taxation increased, so they could use more colors in the earlier decks and the earlier tarots. Hence the beautiful unique violets. And this tarot also, the wood blocks are identical. We will now most believe, or people I know in the tarot world, that the same wood blocks were used for my most favorite Tarot de Marseille in Jean Payen, 1743. But yeah, in January, the Vachier was the deck that is my deck of the month. I've journaled a lot of readings with this tarot. I used it a lot. I carried it with me, and it's one of those special tarot decks in my collection indeed. And that's it. I thought this video will be really quick, but it looks like it's going to be a bit of a longer one. But anyway, I just hope that you enjoyed it, my friends, and do let me know if you do participate in Deck of the Year Project 2025, Deck of the Month. Please tag me. Please use the tag so I can find and watch your videos, as I would love to support you as well if you choose to join me in on this project. I am so very grateful for your time, for your support, and for watching this video. I look forward to hearing from you in the comments. I look forward to watching your responses. Sending much love to you all, and I see you in my next video.